Welcome to this Arts Integrated overlay for the 5th grade Sabes Earth Systems unit. In this series of videos, my partner, teaching artist Katie Gill Harvey, and I will explain and demonstrate how to facilitate 4 activities you can use in your classroom alongside this existing Sabes unit. I'm Yvette Schreiber, a current 6th grade science teacher in Baltimore City with almost 20 years of experience teaching science in the Baltimore City schools system. I'm excited to share this overlay with you. Let's get started. Our aim with our overlay activities is to help your students understand the connection between the job of the environmental engineer, which is already introduced in the Sabes unit, and what a land artist does. Land artists create pieces of art using objects in a site-specific environment to demonstrate and teach others about the impact of environmental problems. Land art as an art form has been around since the 1970s. Examples of this type of art are often in more remote places, making it harder for people to experience firsthand and thereby causing it to be an art form that fewer people are familiar with. Incorporating land art alongside this unit is a natural vehicle for supporting the teaching and learning of the spheres of Earth systems and observing how these different spheres interact and affect each other. The arts integration through line of this unit is adaptation and innovation. All activities included in this overlay are meant to highlight the importance of mistakes as a part of the learning process that artists and scientists use in their work. The real-world experience of making their land art sculptures will allow the students to make connections with the science and art standards they are learning. Through their work, it is our goal that students will be able to see connections between what is happening in their city and environmental effects happening in the Amazon rainforest. Students will have physical experience identifying the Earth spheres, as well as the opportunity to observe for themselves the effects that humans have on Earth and its systems. The first activity in this overlay is an introduction to land art with a focus on looking and planning. Students will begin by looking at examples of land art and using some of Harvard Project Zero's thinking routines to observe and come to conclusions about why artists make land art. These observations will encourage students to begin divergent thinking that will be useful to them in their engineered design challenge and final arts overlay at the end of the unit. Encourage your students to have the patience that comes along with quality observing. Making students aware of taking time to observe, process, and document is an important part of the work that both scientists and artists do in understanding environmental climate change. Here's how to facilitate this practice with your students and to begin to incorporate this overlay. First, have your students take out their Earth Systems Environmental Engineer Land Art Workbook. Then, pull up one of the image options included in the links below this video. For our example, we're using the image of the spiral jetty. Have students take 30 seconds to just look at this image. Then, in their journal on page 1, instruct students to make a list of 10 things they see in the picture. Some things the students may write are, I see a spiral made of different colored rocks. There's a path leading to the spiral. The spiral starts with big circles, then gets smaller and smaller. I see water. This is the skill of observation. Next, to foster inquisitive thinking, have students flip to page 2 in their booklet and use the prompt to share what they think is happening in the picture of the land art. Continuing with our example of the spiral jetty, an example of a statement that a student might write is, I know water can move land, so I think water brought those rocks to that location, and maybe the water was moving in a circle somehow, and the rocks were left in that pattern. Finally, on page 3, You and the students together will begin to define, discuss, and make sense of the following key ideas: land art, art installation sites, and land art materials. While discussing, students will take notes on what each of these are. They can even include drawings to help them keep track of their understanding that they can always refer back to later. The Earth Systems Environmental Engineer Land Art Workbook gives students a place to record their ideas, observations, reflections, and thinking, as well as walks them through the activities of the arts overlay. Teachers can also use this workbook as a way to assess students' understanding. We suggest that you print the student workbooks and teacher workbooks by clicking the downloadable PDF below this video. Not all of Activity 1 has to be done on the first day. As teachers, we fully understand how you may have to break activities into parts to allow them to fit into your teaching schedule. Our activities and booklet are set up to let you do just that. Additionally, it may be helpful for you as the teacher to prepare beforehand by looking at examples of land art. We have included a resource list, a slideshow of land art examples, as well as examples that can be printed and displayed in the classroom.